that come through your smartphone, computers, smartwatches, or other devices. Okay. Finally, do not conduct any research or investigation of your own. You must render your verdict based solely on the evidence submitted at trial. So don't look up the law. That will be given to you in the court's instructions. Don't drive by any locations. Don't look up any names. Don't look anybody up on social media. It is critically important that your verdict in this case is based exclusively on the evidence that's presented at trial. Our trial day will generally go from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We will also generally take a mid-morning and mid-afternoon break. I try to look at sort of natural break points in the case to determine when those breaks happen. But generally we'll have a mid-afternoon, mid-morning break, and we'll also have a lunch break. The court has asked you to put your cell phones in a box in the jury deliberation room. Please make sure they are silenced or turned off altogether. As I said to you, you will be permitted to check your phones when you are on break. However, you are not to look at any news reporting or media coverage of this case, as I have already told you. Additionally, you are not permitted to take notes of any kind, not on paper nor on your phones. The reason for this is that it is important that your recollection of the evidence is what controls. Sometimes if notes are taken, they can be given undue weight, and it's important that when it comes time to deliberate, you are using your individual and collective memories about the evidence, and one note or one written recollection doesn't control. You should also be aware that there will be no transcript available to you when it comes time to deliberate. So although we have our excellent court monitors here and there's an audio recording, that is not available to the jurors, and there will be no transcript. So your individual and collective recollection is what will control as you go into the deliberations. Therefore, please listen carefully to the evidence as it is presented. If during the course of this trial you have any questions or problems, you become thirsty or need anything else, just get the court officer's attention, either of our court officers or my attention, so that we can assist you. If at any time during the trial you cannot hear, please raise your hand so that I can ask the witness or the lawyers to speak up. That goes as well for any monitors. If you cannot see, please do let us know. It is important that you are viewing and listening to all of the evidence as it's presented. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is now 20 of. I had indicated to you earlier that I thought we would go right into opening statements, but based on what I anticipate the length of the opening statements will be, I think that would hold your lunch off for quite a long time. So, after speaking with the lawyers, I think what we're going to do is we'll take an early lunch break. So we're going to break now. Please come back at in 1 hour, so 20 to 1. And then we'll move directly into opening statements. So don't talk about the case, not with each other, not with anybody else. Don't look up any media, don't do any independent research, and I will see you in an hour after lunch. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. All rise for the jurors. You can be seated. Do you have anything preliminary, or do you want to just come back at 12:30, or what would you like to do?
Just thinking, Your Honor, with regards to the arrangements for the bus. Figure out what the time is and what we can do like with them because we're shifting the times back. So maybe if we could approach on that.
Sure.
Good morning, guys. Everybody, welcome. So they started early today. Camera's like all over the place. What the heck? Balance you out there a little bit. Okay. Something like that. I don't know. What's up, man? So yeah, they started early today. I don't know if I have did I have notifications? You guys get notifications? Let me double check. There's so much yesterday, I don't even know. Oh, we got notifications. Perfect. Yeah, so homeboy didn't show up. Coward, right? Piece of isht. Dude, I think he showed up yesterday, though, right? For jury selection, he showed up. Homeboy walked into the courtroom smiling, tongue out, broad stroking, loving the attention and stuff. And I guess he waived his right. Oh hell nah! They took an hour lunch break. Well, they took an hour lunch break, which is an early lunch. Then they'll go into opening statements. Head to the nah. We really could have started at 1, huh? Well, they did jury instructions. We can listen to some jury instructions, and I could play a little bit. Jesse, could play a little bit of the recap video for those that haven't seen it. They will be back at 12:40. Oh, I should have left it for 1, I guess. Apparently. You get here just in time for lunchtime. Amazing. Perfect. I was actually taking a nap too. I took a good nap because this is the first day and I don't know how long, besides the weekends, that I could come back home and relax. So I took a little nap. I woke up really early, went to go work out this morning, and then took the baby to school, came back and laid down. Had a couple of phone conversations, and then lay down. Amazing. Patricia, how can you not show up for your own trial? Well, it was supposed to be for 1 today. The time, nobody knew when it was really going to start. They had the time scheduled for 1. And so I got a call and I was told they actually started early. Sometimes it'd be like that. I can't predict the unknown. That's an anabolic nap. Probably was. I had a good workout. I feel like I'm ready to work out some more. This case is about a stepfather being accused of killing his. Sorry, not a stepfather. A father being accused of killing his daughter. The stepmother's actually supposed to testify. She took a proffer. It's a lot more than that. My video breaking it down, kind of, or going through all the details, is almost 2 hours long. So it's way deeper than that. Jury set to lunch early. Opening statements in an hour for Adam Montgomery. I can't believe this guy didn't show up. Oh, Adam, my bad. I'm over here like, well, explaining myself. Oh man, that guy really is a piece of crap, ain't it? Am I getting sick? No, I was sleeping. I was in a deep sleep. All right, so we could do either of the things. I don't know if you guys want to hear, if you guys want to listen to jury instructions. We haven't missed anything besides jury instructions. The opening statements starts in an hour. I don't know if you guys want jury instructions or if you want to watch some of the recap. You can't watch the whole thing because the recap is like an hour and 44 minutes long. But if we watch for an hour, you get a good idea. And then after we stop watching that and we watch the opening statements, we'll get like 1,000 more people asking, "Hey, can you do a recap?" Yeah, you guys want to watch why don't we watch the recap for the people that don't know the story? He won't be there until the verdict, bro. That's so crazy. What a piece of whatever. Recap. All right, let's do a little recap. Let me pull up my video. I might even repost the video. I thought about that too because it'll be a good time. I could just delete the video after and repost it. The reason I say that is because I don't even think I got that many views when I first did it. Let me take a look and see. Hoax. So extra guilty because he didn't show up. Oh, he got no chance. Yo, people are still going on about that the parent thing. I got a text this morning about that. I don't know why people are so like freaked out as if they're harboring a fugitive in their house or something. Some of the messages that I'm seeing, I'm like, damn, that video got 13,000 views. I wonder if we could do better if I repost it. I'll think about it. I'm gonna play it now though, but I'll think about it. If we could do better now, deep six the video, throw it away, and repost it, and have everybody that's watching the trial rewatch it. Let me read you this brief text message. And this is a nice person's friend, but I like to hear like the perspective because I want to hear why people are so freaked out. You swear some of these people about to start going on the run or like, I don't know, hide their kids or lock them in a confinement so they never get out. So think of this: what if my child takes the keys to drive my car one night, drives purposely into a group of people, killing them? Do I now go to jail because my child used my car? Should I now lock up my car keys? And I just think that they give me multiple examples, but that one example, I just don't think it comes anywhere close to this situation with Ethan. All the examples, like I'm seeing demons, I'm hearing voices, the whole thing with the school, the drawings, I just don't see it as anything comparable. If your kid does that, why? But I guess she's trying to say this is the next place it's going. And it says, what if my child somehow gets a hold of drugs? He parties with a couple of friends and they die. Am I now going to jail because I should have known my child uses drugs? No. I mean, I don't know. And then the next example, what if I have alcohol at my house and my child has a friend over while I'm out with my friends for dinner or over at my boyfriend's house? My son and his friends get so intoxicated that one dies of alcohol poisoning. Am I now responsible? And so my thought, I don't know how old her kid is, but if you have like underage kids, I don't know, like a 12-year-old, 15-year-old, I don't know how old the kid is, and they're getting plastered, you have all this alcohol and nobody, they're just, and then somebody else's kids, they're getting plastered too. In that situation, I think even with or without Jennifer's verdict, I think you could actually be held liable. I think you could, even without the verdict, I think it kind of, I think you have to be really careful who you have over. If you have people's kids at your house, I don't know, but if your kids are all plastered and drunk and you're out somewhere, I mean, maybe she's talking about like teenage kids. I don't know, but I think you might be still held accountable or something. It depends. That one, even without the verdict, I'd say you might get caught up on something. If I don't know. So we had a little conversation back and forth, but I don't think it's gonna be that crazy, like the way they're making it seem. Like, I don't know. I guess only time will tell, right? Well, time will tell. All right, so yeah, so for the people that just joined, this dude didn't even show up today. Okay, I'm gonna have to put a note on the screen for the new people joining. This guy didn't show up for court. I guess he's not gonna attend trial. This guy's a piece of junk. He, I honestly, from reading the probable cause affidavit, I think they have a whole lot on this guy. They have a whole lot. I think they do. It's gonna be hard, but he seemed like he's confident, and then doesn't show up. And you have the stepmother that's gonna testify. She snitched. The stepmother watched this whole shit happen. The stepmother was there when he beat the Harmony up and did what he did and carried around for months or whatever her body and put it here, put it there. Eventually chopped it up. I think it was just really bad and graphic. And she was there for the whole thing. So now stepmom was given like a proffer. Her name is Kayla Montgomery. Let me see if I can show you a picture. And I think what I am going to do is I'm going to repost the 2-hour video. I don't know when's the best time for people, but I think I might repost it for people that want to. 2 hours is kind of long, but see, Kayla looked like this at one point. She's in the thumbnail. They were all mixed up in substances, it seems like. And Kayla, oh man, that's not a good picture. I better get to the point and move on, because I'll talk through the whole hour. We're waiting for them to come back. I was so used to the last couple of days of just talking endlessly, filling in 6-hour, 8-hour gaps. I just be talking the whole time. But this is Kayla. All right, that's what she looked like before she went to jail, and then she got, I guess, cleaned up. She was looking kind of rough at first, and all of a sudden, let me show you another picture. I guess when they take the drugs away, she looked better in jail than she was out of jail. I was like, damn. She got her hair done, got highlights, or I don't know if that's highlight. Got highlights. The skin is popping. Her eyes look, everything looks normal. Her skin looks healthy. Wow. Some people, it seems like jail might save your life, actually. I don't know. It looks like it might have saved hers. Got skin treatment, pedicures, facials. Wow. Rejuvenated. What are they going to do if Adam doesn't show up? That's his choice, apparently. They need to go on with the... I think they should have dragged him into court. And if he didn't want to be in court, then put him in a box like they did with these other defendants. They really should have just forced him in that shit. Drag him in there. That's what I say. Like the other one, because they had Daryl, what's his name? Daryl Brooks. They dragged his ass into court. Or I think he wanted to be there. He represented himself, but that guy was a nut. Making all kinds of facial expressions. I think they had to lock him in a glass box at one point. So, all right. What I'll do too is I'll set up the Court TV live feed on my back. So when they come back, we know. And I'll put the recap on the screen. Won't be able to get through all of it, but I think an hour's worth or 45 minutes or 50 minutes will be good enough for people to kind of get the gist. It's very, very detailed. So let me just adjust the volume to make sure it's not too loud for you guys. I'm kind of like loving the weather too. It's like somewhat. It's really cold out. It's been really chilly. Like in the morning, it's in the 50s. Let me see. What is it right now? It's warmed up, but it's 71 now. It's warmed up now. All right, well, let's get started with this. I'm going to take myself off the screen here for a little bit. I'm going to close the windows. Oh, but you need I'm going to get myself on in a second. Let's just the intro play first.
So the fact that she didn't lift a finger to get her help, she did nothing, and then decided to just, well, not only that, but, she laid down and got pregnant by him while my daughter was somewhere stashed in the...
So this is the biological mother, Crystal Soray, which... people have said things about her too. I think she's had a rough life and stuff. And during the trial, we'll get into some of the backstory about the background of some of these people because, Adam Montgomery, and I'm going to have to find it. We'll talk about it at some point during this trial. He had shot somebody else in the face years ago. I don't know if the person died. Maybe people that's been following the story. I'm going to have to kind of refresh myself on everything too as we go throughout the trial. He had a weird history of shooting somebody. I also think that there's more people involved. Harmony's body's never been found. I think there was the truck that they rented that they believe Harmony's body was in. They don't know exactly where it went, but I think Adam and somebody else. I think there's more people involved in this shit than just Adam. But anyway, this is biological mother talking about Kayla, how messed up Kayla is, and how this woman even had a baby, got impregnated, and they were having sex. while Harmony's body was in the building, the house or whatever.
So the fact that she didn't lift a finger to get her help, she did nothing, and then decided to just, well, not only that, but, you know, she laid down and got pregnant by him while my daughter was somewhere stashed in this house. That's a little part that everyone else seems to miss, is that she did have a third child a month before they got arrested in 2021. She had a daughter. Go figure, right? So that right there is just disgustingly sick. Like, you watched him murder a child and then you laid down with him and had another baby?
There's a lot to get to in this video, so make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, turn on bell notifications. Also, check out my sponsor, Data Seal, a service that I use to protect myself from. I forgot that was in there. % off your Data Seal subscription. What happened to Harmony Montgomery? This is some arrest warrant documents that came out, and the crimes here for Adam Montgomery, which is the biological father of Harmony: second-degree murder, tampering with witness and informants, falsifying physical evidence, and of corpse.
Her mother, Crystal Sorey, and her father, Adam Montgomery, had been together since 2012, but they were not together when Harmony was born. Adam was in jail after running into some problems with the law. He was accused of shooting a man in the head during a drug deal in January 2014. After he was released in September 2015, he moved to New Hampshire. When Harmony was 2 months old, she was removed for the first time from Crystal's care by the Massachusetts Department of Children and Families. Harmony remained in the legal custody of the department, although she was returned to Crystal's care. Harmony was removed again in April of 2015 due to Crystal's drug use. She was placed in foster care. In March 2017, Harmony was returned to Crystal's care, but remained in the legal custody of DCF. In January 2018, Harmony was removed from Crystal for the third and final time. Crystal was simply unable or unwilling to regulate her intake of substances. In February 2019, Adam was granted custody of Harmony by a family court judge in Lawrence, Massachusetts. Harmony went to live with Adam and his wife, Kayla, in Manchester, New Hampshire.
I was horrified. I was like, no. I told DCF, and that was that. Like, months later, they hand over custody.
How is it possible she got to stay with him after all of that?
I don't understand. I still don't understand to this day.
Massachusetts judge granted custody of Harmony to her father, Adam Montgomery, back in 2019. That ruling came despite his lengthy criminal record and without what's called an interstate compact, or ICPC. Now, that's an agreement that would have ensured communication and services were in place when she moved over the border to New Hampshire, and that DCF never properly assessed her father as a caregiver. He had spent just 40 hours with his daughter.
Harmony Montgomery reported missing. On November 18th, 2021, the Manchester Police Department received a call from a woman determined to be Crystal Sorey regarding her biological daughter, Harmony Montgomery. Sorey reported that Harmony, who was in the physical custody of Sorey's ex, was missing and that she hadn't seen Harmony in over 6 months. Sorey identified her ex as Adam Michael Montgomery. An employee of the Manchester Police Department contacted DCYF and learned of previous addresses associated with Adam. Manchester police officers checked those addresses but were unable to locate Adam or Harmony. On December 27, 2021, DCYF notified the Manchester Police Department that they were also unable to locate Harmony. Consequently, the Manchester Police Department initiated an investigation into the whereabouts of Harmony. Over the following days, members of the Manchester Police Department learned that Harmony had not been physically seen since approximately October or November 2019. Sorey, who resides in Massachusetts, notified authorities that she had not seen Harmony since around Easter 2019, approximately April 21st, 2019. The child had been in the physical and legal custody of her biological father, Adam Montgomery, pursuant to a decision and order from the Lawrence Juvenile Court located in Essex County, dated February 21st, 2019. The case was subsequently assigned to me during my follow-up with Crystal. She explained that she had lost custody of her child in July 2018 to the state of Massachusetts. In part due to a substance issue, Crystal said that both she and Adam had past issues with substance. Crystal, yeah, there's a lot of drugs in this story and situation. There's a lot of, it's very, very messy and convoluted. Patricia, thank you for the membership, the 5 months. Thank you, Ikema, for covering this trial. Charwell, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Appreciate that. And I think I will repost this. I'm going to upload it. I don't know when will be the best day for people that missed out or, you know, want to know the story. But also when they do opening statements, they usually kind of give a broad stroke, a generalization, somewhat of the story. I don't know how in depth they're going to go, you know, but they'll give you a good idea too. Sometimes I kind of debate on even knowing all these details, this background details, because sometimes I'm like, I want to maybe watch a trial and try to put myself in the position of a juror, you know, without knowing all the exterior factors that maybe aren't brought in. I mean, I like both ways sometimes, but I don't know. I thought about that sometimes. Knowing the whole thing, it's like already know everything. But reported that since then she regained sobriety and unsuccessfully made attempts throughout 2021 to locate Adam and Harmony. Adam and his subsequent partner Kayla Montgomery, which is the stepmother, which we've seen her on video and in court, and apparently she took a plea deal. So Adam and Kayla had blocked all communications with Crystal. So the biological father and the stepmother blocked communications with the biological mother. Okay. She blocked them through phone numbers and through social media applications. Crystal said that over the years, she made attempts to locate Harmony by contacting various schools and driving by addresses associated with Adam, but she wasn't able to make any progress. Crystal said that she believed she last physically saw Harmony during a FaceTime video call with Adam around Easter in 2019. Crystal stated that Adam was visible in the background of the video call. Crystal recalled that Harmony seemed frightened. Beginning on December 27, 2021, members of the Manchester Police Department actively made attempts to track down Adam and talk to involved family members to establish the last time Harmony was physically observed and known to be safe. Officers and investigators were initially unable to make contact with Adam via phone. However, investigators were able to make contact with various family members, including parties associated with Adam who reside in Florida. Always comes to Florida. Through these family members, investigators received information that Adam had previously admitted to giving Harmony a black eye in approximately July 2019. Just sidestepping for a second, I do have it here in my notes, and it says here, in an interview with police, Harmony's great uncle told officers that he saw her. You guys remember this? This whole, it kind of takes me back a little bit. I covered the story on and off. There's people that were very, very every step of the way. I made multiple videos kind of on and off checking in. It's been a long time coming though for this trial. With a black eye in July 2019, he said Montgomery told him he hit her after he had seen his daughter holding her hand over her younger brother's mouth to stop him from crying, according to police documents, which is probably such BS. I walked in the house and Harmony had a black eye, like you see in a boxing match between two men. He was visiting the Manchester home and asked about the injury. He bashed her around the apartment, were his exact words, said Kevin Montgomery. I might have it off a little bit, but that's pretty much what he said. He also told investigators, according to court documents, that he observed other forms of discipline, including. So I can imagine that this guy is probably going to be a witness. I would think probably testify. Kevin, Harmony being forced to stand in the corner for hours, the uncle, and told to scrub the toilet with her toothbrush.
In the police affidavit, you were very informative about some of the things that had happened to little Harmony before she went missing, and it was just heartbreaking to read the details that Harmony had been, I think one of the quotes is bashed around the house by Adam, that she'd been forced to clean a toilet with a toothbrush, and that she'd been forced to stand in the corner for hours, to the point where she wet herself. And then there are big redactions, big black marks all through some of the things that you told the police. Can you fill in what those blanks are, Kevin? What were the other things that you said that have been blacked out?
I'm not sure. I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't know what's blackout. I never seen those reports. I know what I said in the reports, and I stand that I said what I said. And I don't want to mess up this investigation by giving out too much information.
News Nation obtained.
So supposedly, because I see somebody that bees on Mars, he observed and did nothing. Supposedly, I think he said that he reported it. There was multiple reports, which is kind of a common thing. Sometimes you hear like you make reports supposedly to CPS and they don't really do anything. I can look back at my notes too. I have like all these notes that I just from back then. There's like a lot of stuff, just different snippets from articles that I put together in the timeline, which they have a really nice timeline on some websites. We're going to use the website timeline. Okay, Kevin said family members made multiple reports to DCYF. So that's what they're claiming, that they made multiple reports and that apparently nothing was done. So I don't know.
Obtaining these photos from inside the last known house missing 7-year-old Harmony Montgomery lived in. They show the bedrooms, kitchen, and inside the refrigerator. And you can see extension cords running throughout the house, hooked up to a generator outside because neighbors say the power was cut off. This is the house where police say Harmony's dad, Adam Montgomery, the little girl, even causing a black eye.
First interview with Kayla Montgomery on December 28th, 2021, I spoke with Adam's wife, Kayla Montgomery. Kayla shares 3 younger children with Adam who are all presently accounted for during my follow-up with Kayla. I asked about the last time that she had physically seen Harmony. Kayla said that sometime in November or December 2019, she saw Harmony one morning prior to going to work. Adam said that he was driving Harmony back to Crystal, who was living in Massachusetts at the time. Kayla said that she believed Harmony had been returned to Crystal. So now we got like conflicting reports here. And when I first read this timeline initially, I was thinking, well, maybe Kayla just didn't, maybe he lied to Kayla too. Maybe Kayla didn't know what happened. And it says here, Kayla claims she never saw or heard about Harmony after that day. Kayla had not physically seen Adam since late October 2021 and had not spoken with him since around mid-November 2021. Kayla claimed Adam was living in a sober house and had then left the area to live in Maine with another female, which that woman, I don't know if they're going to talk about it here. Her name was, I forget. She's deceased now. Kelsey Smalls.
According to court documents, Kelsey Small told police she was romantically involved with Adam Montgomery for more than a year. Kelsey told detectives she was aware Adam had 4 children with 2 women, but said Adam never mentioned Harmony Montgomery at all, and she did not have information about where she may be. During that same roadside interview, Adam Montgomery told detectives that Harmony was fine, but that he had not seen her since her biological mother came to Manchester to pick her up around Thanksgiving of 2019. Kelsey Small is not implicated in any way in Harmony's disappearance, but there was hope she might have information from Adam that she might eventually share. Kelsey's cousin released a statement through a spokesperson that says, quote, "She was so much more than that, and I hate that one of her last connections here on Earth was to him." News 9 obtained Goffstown police records that reveal Kelsey was arrested outside a sober home where she was living, charged with DUI second offense. She was released on bail. 5 days later, she was found dead in a hotel room. And
The common theme throughout this whole story too is drugs. Like the entire, like Hoax had said earlier, like that kid was just born into drugs. The mother couldn't keep the girl, so like she was put into, I guess, DCYF, what they call it over there. And just the entire time, just drugs. And so yeah, this woman ends up dead in a hotel. I'm assuming it was substances, I guess.
Kelsey Small's death is not considered suspicious.
And this is what the clip that I just played for you was referencing. First contact with Adam Montgomery. On December 31st, 2021, patrol officers were able to make contact with Adam and his new girlfriend, Kelsey Small, together sleeping in a vehicle in the area of Harville Street in Manchester. Investigators, including myself, Detective Kozowek, and Detective Riley, responded to that location to speak with the couple. Small claimed that she had been romantically involved with Adam for over a year. Small claimed that she was aware that Adam has 3 children from one mother and another child from before that. However, Small said that Adam was not in touch with any child from his prior relationship. Small claimed that Adam had never talked about Harmony and she had no information on where she may be. During our interaction with Adam, we stressed our concern that Harmony had not been physically observed in over 2 years and that we had concern for whether or not she was still alive. Adam did not exhibit much emotion or reaction from this, which is like...
Hey, keep your hands where I can see them. What's going on?
He was found sleeping in a car in a Manchester, New Hampshire parking lot on December 31st, 2021, when investigators caught up with Adam Montgomery for the first time to question him about the whereabouts of his daughter Harmony, who hadn't been seen in 2 years and is now presumed dead.
It just seems a little strange that you don't want to tell us where she is.
All right, I got nothing else to say to you guys.
He repeatedly refused to answer questions in a 45-minute interaction, but did claim she was alive.
Your daughter's alive?
Yeah. You're sure?
I'm positive.
You're like, swear on your life.
I swear on my life.
The hell? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's sus in itself. We're telling you your daughter is missing for 2 years. Nobody knows. And he's just like, just chilling with a new girlfriend. Further interview with Kayla Montgomery, stepmother. Also, on December 31st, 2021, Kayla Montgomery participated in a voluntary interview with Detective Riley and myself. During this interview, she spoke about the last time she saw Harmony. In this interview, she told us that 2 days after Thanksgiving 2019, which would have been November 30th, 2019, Adam had taken her to work, which she said was 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. shift at Dunkin' Donuts on Eddy Road in Manchester. She said that while Adam was dropping her off, he said he was bringing Harmony to her mother, Harmony's mom, and he was going to meet Harmony's mom and bring Harmony to stay with the mother, biological mother. Kayla said that later that day, Adam picked her up and he no longer had Harmony. He said that he had just dropped Harmony off. Kayla said she assumed Adam dropped Harmony off in Massachusetts, as that is where Crystal was living at the time. Detectives were concerned about Kayla's account that Adam claimed he was bringing Harmony to Crystal, especially that Crystal outright denied ever taking custody of Harmony from Adam at the time, or ever seeing Harmony following the video chat in April 2019. The investigation revealed that in November 2019, Crystal lived at 39 Chapel Street in Lowell, Massachusetts with her boyfriend, Joseph. And on December 31st, 2021, Joseph was interviewed and he confirmed that he was living with Crystal in 2019. And Harmony was not with Crystal at all from October 2019 to present. In fact, Joseph stated that he has never met Harmony in person. And a review of the DCYF involvements indicated that social workers had not viewed Harmony since October 1st, 2019. Which, by the way, too, I heard that the jurors are supposed to be doing a viewing of some of these locations. I don't know if they did that already today, because I had heard they were either going to like start with the viewing and then do instructions and opening statements, or they were going to do instructions, opening statements, and then the viewing. So I don't know. Hopefully they knocked it out of the way. Maybe that's what they were doing this morning during a home visit with Adam Montgomery in New Hampshire. Incredible, right? And supposedly the family had been reporting like the whole black eye incident that happened. When was that? The last time Harmony was seen during a Massachusetts police call for service was October 2019 at a home in the city. They said they had no reason to return to their address after that. And then the whole thing of the black eye situation, July 2019. So, okay. So I guess DCYF didn't follow up at all after October. Incredible. Not only have family members not seen Harmony since 2019, DCYF contacted the Manchester School District on September 10th, 2021. Representative of the school district stated that Harmony was not registered in the district. Wow. Family court order locating and protective supervision of Harmony Montgomery. On December 31st, 2021, the 9th Circuit Family Division Manchester granted protective supervision of Harmony to DCYF from Adam via juvenile/neglect ex parte order. At the time of the order, Adam had been Harmony's sole custodian. The order stated specifically that Adam was ordered to cooperate with the Manchester Police Department and assist with locating Harmony. Detective Riley served Adam with that order on the afternoon of December 31st, 2021 at approximately 4:10 p.m. However, Adam refused to provide any information on the whereabouts of Harmony. When handed the order by detectives and told that he had to provide information on Harmony's whereabouts, Adam said, "Either arrest me or I'm leaving," and refused to answer additional questions. Adam was arrested on charges related to Harmony on January 4th, 2022, and was formally charged and arraigned on January 5th, 2022. These charges consist of second-degree assault for an incident in July 2019, interference with custody, which that July 2019, I believe, is the black eye incident, interference with custody, and 2 charges of endangering the welfare of a child. He's been detained in the Hillsborough County House of Corrections since that date.
Can you make me a promise? Like, man to man? Can you tell me that she's alive?
You're gonna play the same word games that you played with me the other day.
Kayla Montgomery's grand jury testimony. On May 20th, 2022, Kayla Montgomery testified before the grand jury for Hillsborough County Northern District as part of the grand jury's investigation into the disappearance of Harmony Montgomery. Kayla was under oath for her testimony. During her testimony, Kayla was asked about the last time she saw Harmony. She stated in sum that it was 2 days after Thanksgiving 2019, which would have been November 30th, 2019, when Adam dropped her off to work her 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. shift at Dunkin' Donuts in Goffstown. Harmony was inside the car, and Adam said he was bringing Harmony to her mother. When Adam picked Kayla up a little after 2 p.m., Harmony was no longer with Adam, and Adam said he brought Harmony to Harmony's mother. At this time, Kayla said she never saw Harmony after that, and she didn't know what happened to Harmony. Investigators researched Kayla's claims about the location and shift she was working 2 days after Thanksgiving 2019. All Dunkin' Donuts locations in Goffstown confirmed that Kayla was not working there on 11/30/2019. Records obtained from New Hampshire Employment Security showed that the only employer who paid Kayla in November 2019 was a Dunkin' Donuts in Hooksett, New Hampshire, and that Dunkin' Donuts store confirmed that Kayla was fired from that location on 11/23/2019. As a result, an arrest warrant was obtained for Kayla for 2 charges of perjury. So she lied.
Kayla, any idea where Harmony is? This was Kayla Montgomery leaving the Valley Street Jail Monday evening after waiving her arraignment earlier in the day and negotiating bail outside of the courtroom on her latest perjury charges. No word on Harmony? Kayla had no comment for us, and there was no car waiting for her. She left the jail on foot, only acknowledging the inmates banging on the windows as she left. Court complaints show that Kayla lied twice while she testified to a grand jury in May.
Did you admit to lying to the grand jury?
Yes.
Kayla was arrested on the perjury charges on June 3rd, 2022. On that same day, Kayla participated in a proffer interview, which I believe it's like where potentially agreeing to an agreement to like snitch or give details, I think. And this happened at the Manchester Police Department. Her attorney was present for the interview. So Kayla's first proffer interview. During the proffer interview, Kayla admitted that she lied during her grand jury testimony. She stated that she had information related to Harmony Montgomery. Kayla stated that the family, herself, Adam, Harmony, SM, and DM, was evicted from where they were living on Guilford Street in Manchester the day before Thanksgiving, which would have been 11/27/2019. Kayla said that after they were living in their vehicle, which we know to be a Chrysler Sebring, during their time living out of the vehicle, they stayed in the parking lot of Colonial Village on River Road in Manchester, where their friend Anthony Bodero lived. Kayla stated that from Thanksgiving up until the beginning of December, Bodero saw Harmony and the other 2 boys that would wave at them. She also said that Bodero brought them Thanksgiving leftovers while they were staying in the Sebring, and that he saw Harmony at the time and he and Harmony waved at each other. Kayla stated that on the day the Chrysler Sebring broke down, which was known to be December 7th, 2019, as discussed in further detail below, Adam struck Harmony, which caused her death. Wow. Kayla stated that while living in the vehicle together, Adam was extremely upset that 5-year-old Harmony was not saying when she needed to go to the bathroom and was having accidents in the car. Kayla stated that after each accident, Adam would get upset and would strike Harmony in the face/head with a closed fist. Kayla stated that on December 7, 2019, prior to the vehicle breaking down, Adam struck Harmony in the face/head on 3 separate occasions because she had a bathroom accident. This happened while Adam was driving the vehicle. Kayla described that Harmony was in the rear seat on the passenger side, and while Adam was driving, he turned his body and delivered sets of 3 to 4 blows with a closed fist to Harmony's face/head on 3 separate occasions over the course of a few minutes.
Crystal, when you learn those details of what they say happened to Harmony, what went through your mind?
I just remember being in a meeting that morning, and I just kept saying, like, I knew he had murdered her for something small, you know, something that she would really have no control over. So when they told me that, you know, he had reached over and done what he had done because she had been having multiple accidents, I went up, like, you know, I jumped up to kind of run out the room to get some air, and I fainted. It was like, it just blew me away, you know, because she had a history of accidents when she was scared or really stressed out, and she didn't understand what was going on. She would have accidents because it was like her way of, like, letting you know, like, something's going on, I don't understand, and I need you to pay attention to me, you know. So I know her history, you know. So, like, when I heard those things, it was like, how could you fault her for that trauma, you know, that trauma response? You know, she was 5 years old, you were living in a car. It's not like there was an available bathroom, and it's not like she wasn't terrified of this man already. If this man was punching you in the face for every little thing, would you tell him you had to go to the bathroom? No, you wouldn't. You know, so it was just, and then it just got worse and worse and worse. And I kept telling myself, and my family kept repeating, that anything that happened after she was with my mom and my brothers, you know, it wasn't her.
Kayla stated that after the final blow, Adam said words to the effect that he felt something or heard something when he hit Harmony. I think I really hurt her this time. I think I did something. Harmony began making a moaning type noise, which went on for roughly 5 minutes and then stopped. At no time did anyone stop or get Harmony medical attention and keep in mind, this is with like other kids in the car. This is Kayla, the stepmom, watching all this happen. Like, I don't know how, like, your gut reaction, you're sitting in the same car. Maybe she was afraid, maybe she could argue she was afraid of this guy, but your gut reaction to, like, see a child basically getting beat to death and just sit there and watch and do nothing, or not even at least after leaving, or when you get out of the car, call 911 or something. Just watch the result of this. Kayla said this happened in the morning while the family was on their way to Burger King on Route 3 in Manchester. And afterwards, the family returned to a parking lot of the Colonial Village apartments. The family stayed at the Colonial Village for approximately 20 minutes, during which no one checked on Harmony. Wow. I mean, as a human, this chick, wherever she was sitting on the passenger side, you don't even check on this little girl and you stay shut about what happened to this girl. Kayla could not recall exactly what they did during a 20-minute period, I'm sure. Kayla said that after approximately 20 minutes, the family left the Colonial Village apartments, and shortly thereafter, their car broke down. Kayla said that she thought the car died probably at 8 or 9 a.m., according to Manchester Police Department records, The car was broken down in the intersection of Elm Street and Webster Street at approximately 12:11 p.m. on 12/7/2019. Kayla said that it was at this time that she and Adam discovered that Harmony was not breathing and was deceased. Kayla said that Adam went to the trunk of the vehicle, removed clothing from a black and red Under Armour duffel bag, and placed the lifeless body of Harmony into the bag. Kayla stated that at no point did either of them have any conversation about getting any type of life-saving measures for Harmony, and that Adam simply put Harmony's dead body into the bag and walked to the parking lot of the Colonial Village apartments. So a couple of things with this. Was Harmony really dead from these blows? Was she still alive? The other thing, were the other, what did I say, alive and put in the bag because she had been saved with medical attention from these blows? Was she still alive? The other thing, were the other, I think it was kids, were the other kids in the vehicle? Because she stated that she had information related to Harmony Montgomery. Kayla stated that the family, herself, Adam, Harmony, SM, and DM were evicted and were living on Guildford Street in Manchester the day before Thanksgiving, and they were living in their vehicle. So did this all happen in front of the kids? Kayla indicated that once back at Colonial Village, Bodero drove them from the apartment complex back to their vehicle to collect their belongings before the vehicle was towed. Kayla said that Bodero then allowed them to stay in his Audi parked in the parking lot for 2 to 3 days over the weekend. I wonder if did Bodero ask about Harmony? Kayla stated that while they were staying in Bodero's Audi after Harmony's death, Adam was keeping the bag with Harmony's body inside the trunk of the vehicle, but also would leave it out on the snow to stop the decomposition of the body from happening. It gets like a lot worse. As far as like, so Anthony Bodero's grand jury testimony about it. On March 21st, 2022, Anthony Bodero testified before the grand jury of the Hillsborough County Northern District as part of the grand jury's investigation into the disappearance of Harmony. During his testimony, Bodero stated that after the Montgomery family was evicted, he allowed them to stay in his car, an Audi, for 2 days. He stated that he believed it was the weekend immediately after Thanksgiving, approximately November 30th and December 1st, 2019, and he testified that he brought Thanksgiving leftovers to the car for them to eat. Bodero testified that he did not see Harmony in the Audi and that it was only Adam, Kayla, and the 2 younger brothers. Wow. Well, it says boys, SM and DM. Bodero testified that he never bothered to ask where Harmony was. Bodero testified that the only 2 times he ever saw Harmony were back in August and September 2019. Bodero testified that when the Montgomerys left the Audi after 2 days, they stayed there, that he believed Kayla said she was going to her mother's. In his grand jury testimony, Bodero testified that he only let the Montgomery family stay in his Audi for 2 days, but he was not aware of whether the Montgomery family was possibly living in a different car in the parking lot to his apartment building for additional days. Bodero said they could have stayed in their own car, Chrysler Sebring, before it got messed up. Bodero explained that he was aware that after the Montgomerys got evicted, they had a gray Chrysler, but they didn't have that car anymore when they arrived to stay in his Audi. He said that when they arrived to stay in the Audi, they were dropped off by some friend of theirs who was a girl, and that they didn't have anything other than the 2 boys and formula for the baby and diapers. Bodero said that they didn't have anything else, not even bags of clothes. Donna Demers, this is Bodero's girlfriend, on May 20th, 2022, also testified before the grand jury of Hillsborough County Northern District. She testified that the only time she saw Harmony was September 2019 together with Bodero. She testified about the Thanksgiving leftovers being fresh, and she believed Bodero gave them to Montgomery's either on Thanksgiving Day 2019 or the next day. She testified that she had a brief opportunity to look inside the car the Montgomerys were in, which she said was Bodero's car, the Audi, and that she only saw the 2 younger children in the car, not Harmony. I'm going to walk the dogs. I'll be right back. I don't want to, they're going to come back with an opening statement soon in about 15 minutes, I think. So I want to knock that out because I don't want to miss the opening statement. So I'll keep playing this. I'll be back. Demers was confident that Harmony was not in the car. Anthony Bodero's proffer interview. So he was made an offer as well. September 22nd, 2022. A proffer interview was conducted with Anthony Bodero. Also present was Senior Assistant General Attorney Jesse O'Neill, Detective Max Raffel, Deputy Tufts of U.S. Marshals, Padero's attorney Ashley Sheehan, and myself. Padero indicated that he had met Adam Montgomery through Kayla in 2019. He admitted that he did provide crack and fentanyl to the Montgomerys. Padero said that he would buy the Montgomerys food stamps off of them prior to them staying in his vehicle and after they stayed in his vehicle. Okay, so this guy's providing crack and fentanyl to the Montgomerys. Okay, which shouldn't be that surprising with when we watch a little bit of the gun trial, the drugs that these people were into. Padero stated that he would buy the Montgomerys food stamps off of them prior to them staying in his vehicle and after they stayed in his vehicle. Padero stated that after Thanksgiving of 2019, the Montgomerys came to him with just their 2 boys and no Harmony and asked him if they could stay with him due to them being evicted and their car breaking down. Padero did not recall how the Montgomerys arrived at his home. Padero stated that they arrived with a few belongings and recalled a trash bag. Which, and this other one, he's saying he's saying that some woman dropped them off in the previous one here, and that all they came with was 2 boys, the formula for the baby, and diapers. But that's what I was thinking, like, what about the bag with Harmony, I guess? And so it says here that Padero stated that they arrived with a few belongings and recalled a trash bag. Padero offered them his Audi to sleep, which was parked in the rear of his Colonial Village apartment located on 21 West River Drive in Manchester, New Hampshire. Padero was unclear on the timing, at first saying that it was the weekend after Thanksgiving, November 30th through December 1st. But then when confronted with information that the Montgomerys still had their own car at that point, agreed that it may have been the following weekend, December 7th through December 8th. He said that he provided them Thanksgiving leftovers. So now the dates are changing, okay? And what about the girlfriend? Which would have been older leftovers. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. So at first, it was the weekend after Thanksgiving, but then when confronted with information that the Montgomerys still had their own car at that point, agreed that it may have been the following week, and maybe had his dates mixed up, December 7th through December 8th. He said he provided them Thanksgiving leftovers, which would have been older leftovers if it was the following weekend, which the girlfriend said, I thought it was fresh, and a pizza. Padero repeatedly denied seeing Harmony and stated he only knew that the family had been staying in the parking lot for 2 nights in his Audi. When confronted with the statement Kayla made about him seeing Harmony every day, from Thanksgiving to the beginning of December, and waving to Harmony and the 2 boys in the car, Padero stated that she was lying. I questioned Padero about helping the Montgomerys retrieve belongings from their car when it broke down at Webster Street, because that's the other thing. And Webster Street and Elm Street, he stated he did not remember that happening. All over the place. Because I thought initially too, I thought he went and helped them when the car broke down. Donna Dimmer's proffer interview. So this is the girlfriend now, Padero's girlfriend. After Padero's interview concluded, a proffer interview was conducted with his girlfriend. Donna Demers, with her attorney Dan Duckett present, Demers stated that she only stayed at Padero's part-time and that she primarily resided with her parents in Derry, New Hampshire. Demers recalled the Montgomerys arriving at Padero's apartment and that they appeared stressed and mostly concerned with getting drugs. Demers recalled them carrying duffel bags. Oh, so now, okay, I guess now with the offer, I guess we got recollection. I guess it makes sense. I guess maybe they were worried about getting caught up in this. I don't know. And trash bags. And when asked if there was any color to the duffel bag, she believed there was, but could not recall any details. Demers was not aware if Padero had helped the family retrieve any of their belongings from their vehicle, which had broken down. Demers remembered Adam, Kayla, and the 2 boys arriving, but was adamant she never saw Harmony. I'd be a little bit sus of the duffel bag, but I don't know. Maybe they just thought it was their belongings. Maybe they just, whatever. But why did they withhold that information if they didn't think anything of it? But maybe once they were being questioned, they knew something was going on with Harmony. I don't know, bro. Okay. Demers recalled bringing fresh Thanksgiving leftovers, possibly the day after Thanksgiving, to the Montgomerys when they were living out of their car. She initially recalled that the Montgomerys were living out of the Audi at the time, but when confronted with information that the Montgomerys still had their own car that weekend, November 30th and December 1st, Demers admitted that she may not be remembering the car correctly. Demers stated that when she brought the Thanksgiving leftovers, there were 2 kids jumping around in the back seat, and she did not see Harmony in the car. At the time, SM was approximately 2.5 years old, and DM was approximately 10 months old, and it is extremely unlikely that a 10-month-old would be jumping around. Ooh. and therefore investigators believe that Demers may have seen Harmony without realizing it was her. Facebook and Google search warrants. During the investigation, search warrants were obtained for Facebook and Google records relevant to the time period of late November/early December 2019. Location data from Google was consistent with the Montgomery staying in the Colonial Village parking lot from approximately November 27, 2019 through December 8, 2019, which corroborates Kayla's account of the time period they stayed there. In addition, another witness interviewed during the investigation, Kimberly Frayne, recalled personally interacting with the Montgomerys while they were staying in the Audi in the Colonial Village parking lot during the overnight hours of 12/7 into 12/8/2019. Frame went to help the Montgomerys because the Audi had died and Kayla was worried the family was in danger from the cold. Frame said that she did not see Harmony at the time and it was only Adam, Kayla, and the two boys. Facebook messages exchanged between Matt Grendon and Kayla Montgomery also confirmed this date and time. Frames showing Kayla reaching out to Grendon about the Audi having died and being concerned about the cold. December 7th through 8th, 2019 would have been the weekend following the weekend after Thanksgiving. In other words, 1 week after Bordero testified that he believed the Montgomerys stayed in his Audi. This corroborates Kayla's time frame of when they stayed in Bordero's Audi. Interviews of Courtney O'Brien and Matt Garcia. On January 5th, 2022, investigators spoke with Courtney O'Brien, who said her husband Matt Garcia had known Adam their entire life. She also said that Adam used to work for her. She related how she and Garcia had seen Adam, Kayla, Harmony, and the two boys Thanksgiving night 2019, and that the family was living out of the Sebring at the time. O'Brien also recalled a conversation she had with Adam sometime between approximately December 2019 and January 2020, during which Adam said Harmony was with her mom, that it just happened really fast and Harmony wouldn't stop peeing in her pants and that she was better off with her mom. So that kind of corroborates the whole story that Kayla was saying, that supposedly he was pissed off about her having accidents in the car. On January 5th, 2022, investigators also spoke with Matt Garcia separately from Courtney. Garcia explained that he and Adam met when Garcia was 14 years old. He considered Adam to be a friend. Garcia said that the only time he saw Harmony was on Thanksgiving 2019, when Adam, Kayla, and the kids were living in the car. Garcia told investigators about a phone call he had with Adam on December 31st, 2021, which was after news broke that Harmony was missing. Garcia said he asked Adam about the news regarding Harmony, and Adam said he had talked to the police that morning. Adam told Garcia that he didn't know why police were bothering him and that he gave Harmony back to her, Harmony's mother, after Garcia had seen her on Thanksgiving. A lot of conflicting stories, it seems, in different accounts. Garcia said Adam said he goes to the kid, Harmony, wouldn't stop pissing and shitting everywhere. She was driving me nuts. We were living in the car, so I let her. I had her mom come get her. Garcia elaborated, speaking as if he was Adam, that Harmony was having her accidents everywhere, all the time, every 5 minutes. We were living in the car. I couldn't take it. I had to give her to her mom. The conditions just sound horrible. I don't know if this is true or not. Was she really going to the bathroom like this? She was probably scared and terrified, especially if this guy was beating on her. Who knows what else this guy did to her? And he's done things to her in the past, like this black guy incident from a couple of years ago. She was probably terrified of Adam. We were living in a car. I couldn't take it. I had to give it to her mom. The information from O'Brien and Garcia is consistent with Kayla's information that Adam would get upset with Harmony over her bathroom accidents and eventually killed her due to her having a bathroom accident in the car, which is just crazy. Finding Harmony Montgomery's DNA in the Chrysler Sebring, investigators located the Chrysler Sebring that the Montgomery family lived in after being evicted from 77 Guilford Street and in which Harmony was killed. This vehicle was the subject of a call for service at approximately 12:11 p.m. on 12/7/2019 at the intersection of Webster Street and Elm Street in Manchester. So the actual date is 12/7/2019. Possible they had their dates mixed up. This is consistent with Kayla's statement in her June 3rd, 2022 proffer interview that Adam killed Harmony on the day their Sebring broke down. Tow documents show the tow company was on scene to tow the Sebring from approximately 12:52 p.m. to 1:39 p.m. The Sebring was thereafter treated as an abandoned vehicle and an abandoned vehicle tracking report created by Auto City Collision Repair Center for the Sebring noted that later on December 16, 2019, there was no power to the dash, and an attempt to jumpstart the Sebring resulted in the car immediately starting to smoke. The Sebring was eventually sold to Herbert's Used Auto Parts in Goffstown, New Hampshire, on or about January 29, 2020, where it was located by Manchester detectives on approximately January 1st, 2022. The manager of Herbert's Used Auto Parts consented to the seizure and search of the Sebring by Manchester detectives. When the Sebring was searched, inside the vehicle, investigators located a pink Trolls electric toothbrush, which was assigned property number JMT7. This toothbrush was submitted. That's not the actual image, but that's what it looks like. They're back, guys.
Can you approach for just a minute, please?
All right. So, everybody, welcome. If you're just joining now, you haven't missed anything. We weren't sure what time they were going to start today. Court TV had it set for 1 p.m. I had got multiple calls. I took a good nap, and I had just woken up. I wasn't actually woken up. My phone was on silent, and I had just woken up, and I saw all the calls and stuff. And so they started early. The only thing we missed today was jury instructions. And not surprisingly, this guy hasn't shown up to court, Adam. And I heard he's not going to be there. I hope he shows up at some point during this trial. But apparently he has the right to not show up. This guy doesn't want to show up, which I think this guy's a coward. I think he was there yesterday. And some of the facial expressions that he had, I hope he's watching. I've also heard that there's been people in communication. I heard there's some YouTubers talking to him. I heard there's some type of app or something, and he's been responding back to people. I don't know what app it is they're using, but I've heard some people have reached out to this guy, and they've been kind of talking a little bit. So I think this is a screenshot from yesterday. Kind of just walking around, walking around with his chest out, proud, smiling. I really wonder how the jury is going to interpret this. And maybe they're not supposed to interpret this, but I'd feel I would, if I was a juror, I'd probably think something about this. You're not showing up to your own trial, and you're being accused of killing your daughter. You're not going to show up? This is serious, and it seems like it's a game to you. Just like those, body cams. The interrogation or the body cam from the car, which I'm sure they're going to probably show throughout this trial. It's going to be interesting to see. But so yeah, you haven't missed nothing. Just getting started. The judge did say that they're the normal hours for the trial is going to be 9 a.m. to, I forgot what time. Anybody remember? I don't know if they said 5 or 4. I thought she said 4 or something. And this trial is also slated to go 3.5 weeks. I need that now. All right, so yeah, they should be starting. They're going to be starting with opening statements 4, which that time works out great for me. I guess it's Eastern too. New Hampshire is Eastern. I think it is, right? Yeah, it's on the East Coast. Is this New Hampshire, right? Bum 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 bum. New Hampshire, Massachusetts. So that's kind of a good time because sometimes it's easy to get burnt out. I was starting to feel a little burnt out yesterday. And so we did that stream last night, which was kind of cool hanging on the second channel. Make sure you subscribe to Ikid Mel CC. It's just Ikid Mel space CC. We do extra videos on there when we're out of notifications, and especially during trials, sometimes we run out of notifications. So we hung out there last night, and but yeah, no, I got decent sleep last night. I woke up early, worked out, dropped off the baby, and then I came back and took another nap. So I'm pretty good to go. But yeah, the 9 to 4 works out pretty good because you still got plenty of time. Can do the evening stuff, or if we do extra content or updating other stories, we can jump on and do that too. Doesn't take the entire day. It's a perfect schedule, actually. For me. Mary, that's what I was wondering. Can't they make this guy show up? Can't they force him into there? I mean, I don't know. He could just stay out. He doesn't have to go. I'm gonna fix this a little bit. You want to come up? That's what I feel. Bring him into this thing. Mustard Mama, yeah, Mustard Mama's helping out. She got a really dope app. We'll see. Maybe give it a couple weeks. We'll see what the progress looks like. She got a really dope app. I was in the gym this morning doing things. I had a better workout than I've had probably in months, I think. And that's just, I guess, having a little bit of structure. The morning's a little tight too. I'm gonna try to work on waking up a little bit earlier too. Today was like just easing myself into getting up early every day, like extra early. So 9 to 4, 3 weeks long. This guy didn't show up today, which is kind of, I don't know. And that video I was playing for you, it's almost 2 hours long. What I am going to do is I think I'm going to drop it again. I'm going to download it. I have it saved actually. And re-upload it and premiere it. And for the people that missed it, I mean, it goes into a lot of detail. That's why I don't normally ever pre-record an hour and 40 minutes, but it's just that much. I don't even know if they're going to need all that in court. But you got to remember, her body was never found. And I really, truly believe there's more people involved, or like more people that know more details about what happened. I think everybody got clammed up and got scared. Ooh. Military helicopter with 5 Marines on board goes missing en route to Nevada, San Diego. How'd it go missing? Oh, they got black box on there and GPS thing. It's military. They got sonar, whatever. I really am glad about the trial, the scheduling of the trial, the 9 to 4. That makes me a little happy. Because even the 8:45 days, starting at 8:30 in the morning, 8:45 was cutting it really close for me. Like having to rush back. Like, oh no, Ricky, no. The last time you did this, you messed up my audio. Let's see. These days, it's all about consent with everything, but I think courts true, right? I don't consent to being charged or showing up to trial. It's my right, my body, my choice. But I think courts as trials have always been like that. Person on trial doesn't need to show up. Okay. I don't know either. So far, I haven't covered one where they don't show up. Oh yeah, that's Fred right there. He's in his little bed. He might be a little jealous. Sometimes they get jealous of like the attention and stuff. I try to give him attention, but like, see Fred, he looks like looking back like that. His back turned towards me. I like that. See? He's chilling there. He's relaxed. So yeah, we're just waiting for this to get started. I'm feeling pretty good today, man. I think it's the sleep, the little extra nap, and the exercise. Just got to get the eating down right too. That's probably the most important thing, right? I sometimes want to binge on little snacks and stuff, especially if I'm hungry and there's nothing to eat. Like immediately, I want to binge. So I gotta have my little. I do have a few snacks, but I have to have some more healthy stuff readily available that I can just chomp on. Or sometimes I do great throughout the day, and then at night I just screw it up right before bed. Fred acting like Mel's a peasant. Ricky's only had he had that one accident recently. So I got this little thing on him, the little belly band. What I started doing too, like I started today, like when Ricky goes out, I did it with Fred too. But when they go to the bathroom, I just give him a little treat. Just like positive reinforcement. A friend of mine was telling me to do that, so I'm doing that. 5 meals. That's funny, Muslim. Yeah, because I always had the mentality to like, let me try to intermittent fast during the day or like eat one meal when I do keto or whatever, but I'm going to speed up the metabolism. This is my girlfriend's dogs. Oh yeah, Maddie. Oh my gosh, she puts her tablet down. She gets off her tablet. She's using her tablet less to play with the dogs, and she's like giggling and playing with them and all this other stuff. And like now, at the end of the trial days, we go like walk them again. They don't need to really be walked because I usually around this time I walk them, but around 5 or something we'll go walk them again and towards it's like an open field, and we just let the dogs run and she runs with them. Oh yeah, for sure. They love treats. I just don't want to give them too much because like their stomach will like it gets upset. So I just do a half a treat, give half each. So they're loving all the new attention, being home with somebody in the house. I already talked about it on the members, Christina. You overstepping dog dookie, man. Do you ever step in dog dookie? Not from these dogs, but I have outside one time. When I was walking towards the open field. Actually, twice. It was when I actually at Maddie's school. I had gone out and parked somewhere and I stepped right into it. Oh, I was pissed. I was upset. Ricky likes just hanging out right on top of the computer, like right here. He's sitting on the desk. One of the last streams, he fell asleep right here at the desk. I don't know what's up with this Adam thing. Not showing up. Fish? I don't know. I've had fish before. I don't know. Ricky is a lot on the desk. Only if I'm here, yeah. Sometimes I have to take him off though, because he might get in the way. No way. Hannah says, did you hear about Richard Allen's attorneys filing a dismissal because 2 Dominites interrogations were recorded over? Oh, no way. And they destroyed their evidence? Wow. By the way, there's no audio, guys. I have the thing unmuted. They don't have any audio playing right now. And it looks like they're leaving. I wonder if there's anybody giving courtroom updates inside the courtroom, tweeting out updates. Let's see. Breaking news: five Marines on board go missing. Wow. Let's see, court TV. Nothing. Let me try typing in Adam Montgomery. See what pops up. See if we find a reporter out there. Crime Curious is out. Don't confuse it with Crime Circus. Crime Curious is out there in person. So Gizla posted, Adam Montgomery will not be in courtroom today. He waived his right to be in a courtroom all day. Yesterday he wanted shackles instead of a leg brace, which is weird. Yeah. Let's see. Kathy's also doing updates. Let's check out Kathy. So he waived it for today. I'm really hoping that he shows up to court at some point. Here's some of here's the 5 charges. So, second-degree assault by striking Harmony in the face between July 1st and July 22nd, 2019, and second-degree murder on or about December 7th, 2019, by repeatedly striking Harmony on the head with a closed fist. Number 3, falsifying evidence between December 7th, 2019, and March 2020. It looks like I guess they're taking another break. I wonder if they're having problems. I don't know. So we got the falsifying evidence between December 7th, 2019 and March 2020. Did alter, conceal, remove, or destroy corpse of Harmony. And 5, tampering with witness. Did purposely cause Kayla Montgomery to testify of, inform falsely. So those are the charges. We got 5 charges for this guy. That's a picture from 9 court today. They could have opening statements without him present. So I don't know. I'm going to keep scanning for some updates. This guy didn't show up. Coward. Doing all this stuff. Putting on this, presentation. Walking into the courtroom. Smug and everything. Allie's like, what is going on in the courtroom? Yeah, please. Can we have some answers? There's got to be a reporter in that courtroom. What a mess today. Well, for everybody that joined a little bit late, you didn't miss anything, so don't worry about that. He's starting to pull a Darrell Brooks, right? Including myself. They started early, so I came late too. Didn't miss anything. It's a state thing. Let's see what the technical. I could we'll give it a few minutes, and if not, I can continue playing the video that I was playing. How in the world? Yeah, people are tweeting me about this. California search and rescue crews are looking for a missing helicopter. That doesn't sound good. Only thing I can think is Adam wants back in, technical problems, or luckily he pled guilty. He's not pleading guilty. Okay, jury seated. Montgomery murder trial. Opening's about to start. This was 4 minutes ago. That's crazy. So with this Tucker situation, for those that are following it, he's actually going to be interviewing, if he hasn't done so already, Vladimir Putin. There's a whole big uproar on the internet. And apparently now they're saying the European Union is set to be seeking sanctions and a travel ban against Tucker Carlson for his interview with the Russian president. Ah. All right, what else is going on? All right, let me see what you guys think. But just can you update us on what happened today? Basically nothing. There's just jury instructions. Adam hasn't shown up. We're waiting for opening statements. They took an hour break. Dreams. There was no one involved in the case when the gallery was cleared except journalists. Oh. Iran again? We were warned by Iran yesterday. How many times did they warn us? Let's see. Links. Oh, I'm trying to get comfortable. Okay, there we go. Good. Links. I don't even know how to find my own thing in my own Discord. Oh, there we go. What in the heck is that? Death of baby decapitated in Metro Atlanta hospital, ruled homicide. Oh, wow. I forgot about this story, hoax.
We're going to begin.
Oh. Wow. And the hospital tried to hide this. I don't really remember the story too much. This was so crazy. Let's check this out. It's only 2 minutes.
And with that very disturbing story about a baby decapitated. You'll remember the family filed a lawsuit. Now,
Hold on, let me just turn up the volume. Wow, dude. They literally, I thought they like propped the baby up or something. Or what did they do? I forgot. They did some crazy shit.
there are new developments. The Clayton County Medical Examiner's Office says the baby's death is now ruled a homicide. Investigative reporter Ashley Lincoln is live in the newsroom. Ashley, you've been following the story from the very beginning. So what do these new developments mean now?
Well, Karen, a lot of rolling developments with this case. I spoke with the Clayton County Medical Examiner this afternoon, and he says they will now hand over their findings to Clayton County Police, who are currently investigating. Now, back in August, the parents of the newborn filed a lawsuit against Southern Regional Center and their OBGYN, Dr. Tracy St. Julian. Now, the couple accused both the doctor and the hospital for covering up the decapitation. A funeral home employee discovered the newborn was decapitated after the baby was transported from the hospital. Clayton County Medical Examiner Brian Bayer spoke to us last year, telling us there are multiple local and state investigations into this case.
There's just a lot of people out there trying to get to the bottom of this, and everybody works independently. Everybody's agnostic to each other's investigation, although we will try to share each other's facts with each other. But I think that the public should feel very secure that the truth will come out, whatever that might be, when it's all said and done.
And we do know the Clayton County Police Department is currently investigating. I've been in contact with their PIO in the last 30 minutes regarding the status of their investigation. We're waiting to hear back. Of course, this is a story that we will continue to follow. Reporting live in the newsroom, Ashley Lincoln.
What was the crazy allegation with this too? There was something else. They wrapped up the baby in the blanket. Then they propped the head on a wrapped baby to make it look natural. Oh my gosh. I remember we had covered this back then at some point. I don't think we did an official video. I think it was in the middle of a live stream. We covered it, and I couldn't believe the allegations, and so now it's ruled a homicide. Wow, bro. Wow. this article says that, let's see here. When the new parents asked if they could see and hold their newborn, the baby was reportedly tightly wrapped in a blanket with his head propped on top of the body to conceal the fact that he was decapitated. Wow. Dr. Tracy St. Julian negligently applied, that's what the lawsuit claimed, negligently applied excessive traction on the baby's head, and the hospital failed to do a cesarean section in a timely manner and proper manner. Additionally, it said that it resulted in Trevion Isaiah Taylor Jr.'s decapitation and death. The baby's body and legs were removed during a subsequent C-section procedure, and the baby's head was delivered vaginally. The baby, who was the couple's first child,
counsel approach,
had been delivered full term. Ross and Taylor also claimed that the staff attempted to talk them out of an autopsy. Wow, this is some cover-up shit. And it wasn't until they had already been discharged from the hospital that they found out about the decapitation, bro. So they didn't even know? That is sick. Sick, man. Oh, wow. The hospital decapitated the baby, not the parents. Parents are suing. This says that it says the baby's body and legs were removed during a subsequent C-section.
All rise for the jurors, please.
But the baby's head was delivered vaginally. What? Yeah, we can do it as extra content. We can do it tonight. I can pull up the press conference. We can do a little update on it. The old press conference. That is wild, man. After all this time, opening statements in the Adam Montgomery trial are delayed until tomorrow. Sources say Adam is in negotiations to concede some charges. So we might not even get this today. Let's see what happens. This is thank you, Allie, for tagging me. So maybe this is the guy to follow on Twitter. Get updates.
You may be seated. All right, sorry for the delay, ladies and gentlemen. One thing I think you will learn as you go through this process is sometimes things go exactly as we plan, and sometimes they do not. Right now, they are not going exactly as we had previously planned, so I apologize for the delay. And you know, there are a lot of moving parts in a trial, so sometimes we need to switch things up. So originally I had said that we were going to come in and do opening statements.
Bro.
We're going to do something a little different than that. As I said, we're going to be going on a view today.
So I'll do the view.
Prior to a view, the lawyers will give you what's called a preview statement to give you some information about what they want you to look at and what they anticipate that you will see on the view. We're going to do that first. So I'm going to give you an instruction regarding the view. Then the state and the defense will give you their preview statements, okay? And then we will wait for the bus to come, and when everybody's ready, we'll get on the bus and we'll go for the view. Then depending on what time it is after that and other circumstances, we'll determine whether opening statements will be this afternoon after the view or whether they'll be tomorrow, okay? So listen carefully to this instruction. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to begin this case with a view. We will be traveling to several locations within the city of Manchester to observe certain areas you will be hearing testimony about. The purpose of the view is to make the testimony you will hear more understandable. If you have the opportunity to look at a scene, the testimony may make more sense to you. Your obligation on the view is to look as carefully as you can and to remember what you see as well as you can. You may not ask questions. You may not take any notes or measurements. You should look carefully at what the lawyers will be pointing out to you. What you see on the view is evidence in this case. Please stay as close together as possible so that you will all be viewing the scene from approximately the same perspective. If you cannot hear or see, please call that to my attention or to the attention of one of our court officers. After the view is completed, you may not revisit the scenes on your own during trial. Also, you may not engage in any discussion among yourselves or with anyone else concerning what you see at the view. As you know, you are not to talk with each other or with anyone else about the case until the end of the trial when you are conducting your deliberations. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, counsel will have the opportunity to make their preview statements to you concerning what they expect you will be seeing on the view. Yes, you may.
Thank you.
Hello.
Represent the state on this. What we're going to do, and first of all, since it's my first opportunity to talk to you as the jury, big J as opposed to the little j, let me thank you again for your time that you're going to be putting forward not only today but throughout the trial. It is very important both to society, to the government, to the citizens, and it is very, very much appreciated. The first part of your job, for the most part, is going to be taking place in this room. The vast majority of it dealing with the witnesses and the exhibits that you see. But as you just heard from Judge Messer, another part is going to be the view. This is evidence, what you're going to see today. It is going to be work on the view. You're going to have to walk around in 2 different locations, and the rest of them will require you to look out the windows of a bus to be able to take into account the neighborhoods that you were in. And I'm going to explain every place that we're going to go in just a moment, and the defense counsel will also have that same opportunity. Together, we are going to see where this happened. You're going to get to see the same places, the same locations in person that you are later on going to see and hear evidence at trial. And you've already heard, again, Judge Messer's instruction, you should consider today's view to be like evidence. In a few minutes, we are going to get on a bus, maybe about now, and we're going to see a couple different locations in Manchester. In some ways, it's going to be the beginning of a journey that you will likely never forget. And this is also the last journey that Harmony Montgomery took while she was alive and where her body went afterwards. It's a journey that's into the actions of the defendant on that day and the days forward. And we're going to drive by places where Harmony was first assaulted, where she was later killed, where she was later consolidated and crushed. And then finally, different other locations of where the defendant had her in the city. What you are going to see today is part of the evidence. Some of the locations that we're going to drive by, we are just going to pass by in the bus for a minute, and the bus is going to pull over to the side of the road. So you have an opportunity to look at that location and take in the surroundings. And on 2 of the locations, we will physically get out. One will be a parking lot, and the other one will be an intersection. We will not be going into any residences. Later on, you're going to hear testimony about different homes. We may be driving by an apartment complex today, but we will not be going inside in the actual rooms where Harmony was, or where Harmony later was kept. So we will be outside for the 2 times that we get out of the bus. So before we do that, I want to kind of start at the beginning. The first place that we're going to go to, and this is Miss Johnson, forgive my art skills, high school. We're going to start at the courthouse. And the first place that we're going to go to is we're going to go down past Elm Street. Definitely not to scale. We're going to come across Merrimack, and we're going to go up here on Market Street. And at that point, we're going to pull the bus over to the side of the road, and you're going to be able to look out, and I would say look out the right-hand side of the bus to the area of 20 Market Street. That's the location of the methadone clinic where the defendant took Harmony that morning with the rest of the family inside a 2010 gray Chrysler Sebring. When you're there, I want you to be able to take into account just the outside of the building and also look at the neighborhood. I want you to see the number of other businesses that are nearby, the number of other cars that are nearby, the number of the amount of foot traffic that may be there while we're there. You're going to hear in opening arguments that it was at that first location outside the methadone clinic that the defendant came out from getting his medication, got into the car, and understood that Harmony had had an accident, saying words to the effect of, "Really, Harmony, again?"
Objection, Your Honor.
Perch?
Audio's not great. I don't know that I heard crush. I mean, I kind of zoned. I looked at the chat. And I didn't. You guys heard crushed? They're gonna go view all the different locations, some of the different locations where Harmony was at, or Adam and stuff like that. They're gonna go view the places. So, and it looks like maybe behind the scenes there was something going on with Adam. They're trying to get him to come in, maybe working something out. So I don't think they're taking cameras. I'm pretty sure they're not taking cameras to these locations. So this is not the opening statements. This is like some type of statements they give before the viewing, I guess, to give them an idea or whatever. So we still haven't seen opening statements. I was reading this comment about the whole alcohol thing we were talking about earlier. Parents are freaking out about this whole, everybody's paranoid. They're locking up things in their house. They're taking their kids to doctor appointments now because of Jennifer's verdict. Getting mental health checks and stuff. Checking people not checking the kids' journals and shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, that objection is neither sustained or withheld. The state will clarify. Go ahead.
When we're at that location, later on, you're going to hear testimony that at that location, when Adam came out from getting his medication, your testimony that he sensed and smelled and that's where the assaults began of striking. That's why it's important for you to look around to see what else and who else is there and to know what that area looks like. From there, we're going to then come back onto Elm Street. We'll do a loop around. Go north on Elm. Then we're going to go up to Webster Street. At the top of Elm. And that's right over where you get past where you go on the bridge, the big Brady Sullivan Tower there. We're going to take Webster Street out. And here, we're going to go out on Daniel Webster Highway. And there's a Burger King. When we get to the Burger King again, we won't be getting out of the bus. We'll be staying inside, and you'll have a chance to look at that parking lot. What the state is asking you to do is to pay close attention during that drive. How many stoplights roughly are we going through? What are the road conditions like? How long does it take to get there? You're going to hear testimony later on about that same drive. You're going to hear testimony how during that drive, the defendant's assaults continued. And he continued to hit Harmony as they stopped at red lights, as they stopped at stop signs. That's why you need to pay close attention during that drive. Wow. And we're going to go out to that location. After we've had a minute or two to sit in the bus there at Burger King, you've had a chance to see the traffic flow, see what cars are like. At that time, we're then going to turn around. We're going to come back down Webster, continue north on Elm, and then we're going to cut over to an area on West River Drive. Approximately 59 West River Drive. And there, we're going to make our first stop where we get out of the buses. 59 West River Drive is one of the street locations for Colonial Village Apartments. It's right up on you can see poorly drawn river. It's right on the backside there. We're going to be pulling in between those buildings and going to a very large back parking lot that's behind there. This is where you get testimony that the defendant lived in his car after they had been evicted from the Guilford Street home, and where the defendant kept Harmony and the rest of his family after they left Burger King, after he continued to hit her, and drove back there to eat his food while Harmony was moaning. We're going to hear testimony that that's where he used his drugs while Harmony died. When you're there, I'm asking you to notice the number of apartment buildings that are nearby. Look at the number of cars that are in the parking lot, how big that parking lot is. I'm also going to ask you to take notice in that back parking lot area, look towards the tree line. Look at the very back row, closest to the river, where different cars can park. Notice all of that while you're there. It's going to be more than 1 or 2 minutes. So you can get out, you can certainly walk around, take your time to really look in that area and look at the different details that are there. Also look up at the side of the building. I'd like you to know whether or not you see lights on the side of the building that illuminate that parking lot, whether there are street lights that illuminate that parking lot. So do that while you're there. Once we're done, we'll get back on the bus and we're going to drive back towards the city, back on West River Road, back to Elm, and then south to the intersection with Webster. The buses are going to pull over on the side here, and we're going to get back out here again. You'll hear testimony that it was here that the defendant's Gray Sebring died, in the intersection. That it was here that where, with his family, the car stopped working, and that it was here, just before he needed to get a tow, you'll hear how he went to the back seat and found that Harmony was no longer alive. I want you to look very closely around that intersection. Look at the traffic going through that intersection. The number of people that were available at that intersection. We're also going to hear the testimony that at that time, when he realized that she was dead, that when you look at the different businesses around, I want you to remember that when later on you're hearing testimony, how his actions was to take Harmony and to stuff her in a duffel bag. You'll also hear later a trial from a tow truck driver, and you'll hear about a gas station on the corner. So while we're in the intersection, and we're not going to stand in the middle of the intersection, obviously we're going to be standing on the sidewalk, but while you're there and you can move around, take note of how far away that gas station is and the short distance that the tow truck driver had to bring the car. And once we've spent enough time considering all of these, then we're going to be going to another address. You're going to hear a testimony about a lot of different addresses of where the defendant brought Harmony's body afterwards. We're not going to be going to the first two addresses, that one that involves, you'll hear involves a deck, another one that involves a red cooler. We're not going to be here, we're not going to be driving by one on Lake Avenue as well, that you'll hear testimony later on about where he stored Harmony in the ceiling. Where we're going to go is 644 Union Street. So from this intersection, we'll come back onto the buses, onto Webster, come over to Union Street, and head south. And the intersection of 644 Union Street is right at the intersection of Union and Orange. So Orange is the cross street. You're going to see two buildings. We're going to be stopping right outside here, 644 Main. Testimony that you will hear later on involves also a parking lot that's general in the back. But here we're not going to be getting off the buses. You're not going to have to go inside. We're going to ask you to again look out the right-hand side of the buses and the size of the building. While you're there, we're going to ask you to please take a look at the number of apartments that are there. The number of neighbors that the defendant would have had based upon looking at those apartments. Look at the traffic, look at the lighting, look at the neighborhood. Later on, you're going to hear more testimony about that apartment and what took place in that apartment. Again, we will not be getting out of the buses. You do not have to go in that apartment. When we're done at Union Street,
they're not getting out of the
buses will pull away. We'll come down to Bridge, back onto Elm, back south to Merrimack, and then back to the courthouse. I'm going to ask you to look at one last thing on this drive. As we come back to the intersection of Merrimack Street and Elm, roughly here compared to how I'm pointing right now, down at that intersection, right across the street from each other, there's the Thirsty Moose Tap House, which is right on Merrimack. Right across the street from that is a Chase Bank right now. When we drive back down Elm, and then we take that left-hand turn to come up Merrimack Street to come back to the courthouse, I'm going to ask you to look out the right-hand bus of the window. We're not going to be slowing down there. It's Elm Street, a little too busy. But I do want you to look outside that Chase Bank. In the winter of 2020, you will hear testimony that that was not a bank, that that was the Portland Pie Company, pizza shop, that that was where the defendant worked. And you're going to also hear testimony that that was where, on one occasion, he ordered his wife to bring a CMC bag containing Harmony's body and stored it inside a freezer, seen by other witnesses. So when you hear those witnesses and they talk about Portland Pie Company, we're going to be driving by that location. Again, it's a bank now. It's not a pizza place anymore. But understand where that location is to be able better understand the testimony that you're going to hear throughout the rest of this. And stress again, what you see on this view is going to be evidence. The locations we're stopping at.
Oh, it is on. Oh, shit.
The Habit, Methadone Clinic, the Burger King, up on Daniel Webster Highway.
How's that?
Coming back to Colonial Village, where we'll get out. To the intersection of Elm and Webster, where we will also get out. The drive by 644 Union Street. We're back to Elm, and the drive by what was Portland Pie Company. Before we come back to the woods. This will be your only opportunity, as you heard from the court, to look at these places in person until the end of this trial. So take time. If you need more time, please let the court staff know. We will stay longer in the parking lot. We will stay longer at the intersection. We have great deputies and bailiffs who will allow you to be able to explore the space in a safe way, so that you're not going to feel like you've got traffic right on top of you or anything like that. So do please take your time. But when you listen to the testimony from the different witnesses, these are 5 of the key locations that you're going to hear, so it's important that you know what they look like in person before you hear that testimony. Based upon that, again, after you hear this and after you see all of the evidence of this case, we'll ask you to return a verdict that's just. But I would also ask you if you would please to also pay close attention to defense counsel's comments about the view, because again, the more observations that you can make on today's view, the better it will be for you to understand the testimony you see later on. It's a one-only shot. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good afternoon. This is where the trial really begins for you, and you literally step into it.
Poor lady.
Step onto the bus.
Is it defense?
You go to places. These places are exhibits of your mind. These places in your mind you apply to everything else that you hear, see, and consider in this case. The state said that this was the last journey that Harmony made. This is where the dispute starts. This is not the journey that Harmony made, but this will be the journey that we make today. And when we leave here and we go to Merrimack Street, that's a clinic. And it is a clinic that you'll hear testimony that Adam and Kayla frequented all the time, or quite a bit. And that when you're there, I want you to look. We can't recreate what was happening on particular days or particular weeks, who might have been coming and going at what time. So you actually can only look around and see the exposure. What is the parking there? What can you see? What is exposed? What is hidden? And then apply the evidence that you hear about events that may have occurred there, and consider, could this have happened? Put your mind to the testimony and apply it. This is what I saw, this is what I remember, this is what the witness is saying. It is your evidence, but it's evidence in the case. Then you'll go from the clinic to Burger King. And at Burger King, that's really very, very important to look at that entire layout. Again, we can't recreate the amount of traffic that was on a particular day or a week. We can't recreate any of that stuff. But you look at the parking. I want you specifically to look at how that drive-through works out when you make the order and then you pay the cashier and then you get your food. Take that into consideration. Take the time to think about a route through the drive-through. What is exposed? What is hidden? Who can see what from what angle? Think about the cashier. Think about all of the stuff around the drive-through. And actually, when you're there and stop, think about that from the time somebody pulls into the parking area. And again, you will be applying that to somebody else's testimony. And then you'll be thinking and applying that. Does this work? Does this not work? What's going on here? It is your evidence. From there, you heard that we're going to Colonial Village. And that is a place that you're getting out. So you will take the time. Traffic's going to be different from testimony that you hear about. But you want to look, what is exposed, what is hidden. From particular places, looking at the building, what can you see, what can't you see? We're going to direct you to particular places and areas and say, take a look and consider from this perspective something that pictures can never quite do. Then you got to hold it in your mind and again apply it to testimony as it comes in. This is an exhibit throughout the trial, not just for this afternoon. From the Colonial, you will go to Elm and Webster, which is a place that you're going to get out. And that is really critical on traffic because, again, it can't be recreated. But there is going to be testimony about traffic, about reaction to traffic. There's a car that's broken down there. And about what people did about the car, about what traffic was like because the car was broken down. And you want to, again, look, what's exposed, what is hidden, and apply your exhibit in your head to the testimony that comes here at trial. Then, Fit Shelter is the next place. And you're going to hear about information that happened inside Fit Shelter. So you won't have that sort of same perspective of what's exposed and what's not exposed because you won't actually see that part. And there's testimony about Fit Shelter that is very disturbing, but you still need to go there so that you put it in place about the type of place that it is. And
objection? I'm sorry, I think there's an objection.
Objection. Okay. So they're going to do the viewing. I do want to read this tweet too. I started to read it before and then I had to stop, but it says breaking opening statements in the Adam Montgomery trial are delayed until tomorrow. Sources say Adam is in negotiations to concede some of the charges. Imagine that. It's all about him. Important note, this does not end the trial. Jury will still go on the viewing today.
Essentially withdraw. Messing up my words. Union Avenue. Sorry. You will not be going into Union Avenue, but some very disturbing things occurred at Union Avenue, so you want to hold this into your head. Think about the building. Think about the location. Remember Union Avenue, even though you can't go into it, and I think you'll be very happy that you don't go into it. All of this is an exhibit inside of your head, and keep the names a little bit better than I did. I'm so sorry about that. but the location is the same. And this is the journey that we are taking. And at the end from Union Avenue, you're going to come back here. And as they say, pass by the corner at Merrimack and Elm. Keep that in mind. I also want you to keep in mind the distance from the two. Distance in this case is a little bit less important, but still something to keep in mind as a person testifies about traveling from place to place, about how long does it take, the traffic lights, what is a delay. And I did forget, at each of those traffic lights, I want you to look around again, just as you're going through the traffic lights. What's exposed? What is hidden? You're going to be on streets. Assume that everything on the street is exposed. Look around on the sidewalks and the areas around it as well. It's a difficult thing. Again, you're not taking notes. And you're going to have to remember this as you apply it to all of the testimony in this case. All of these locations are important, not necessarily for the reasons that the state said. There is a dispute going on here, but there is no dispute that all these locations are very, very important. And we can only ask you to pay attention as best you can. When we get there, we'll just remind you of perspective and specific areas to look at. I believe that we'll be going behind you to make sure that the bus stops long enough for you to absorb all of the areas before you go to the next one, until you step out and actually walk around, starting at Colonial Village. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Field trip.
That concludes the preview statements. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to send you back into the jury deliberation room. This is a good time to use the restroom, have a drink of water. I think we've got a little bit of time before the bus arrives. We will let you know when the bus arrives, and you'll be escorted by the court officers. I will be on the bus with you, as well as some of the court staff. The lawyers will be going separately. So just be patient. As soon as the bus is ready for us and all of our business here is concluded, we will go ahead and get on the bus and begin the view. All right. The reminder about not talking about the case with each other or with anyone else or doing any independent research. Make sure you don't do that. Okay. All rise for the jurors, please.
All aboard. All aboard. Let me see. What do we have for notifications today? What are we riding with? Let's see what we're working with today. So we have to set tomorrow's trial. Oh, we got no notifications. Oh, in an hour we'll have another notification. Cancel. And then in 6 hours after that. Okay. So let me schedule tomorrow's stream right now while we're here. 9 a.m. I don't think they're going to do opening today, according to that tweet. And what's happening now, it's already, they end their days at 4 and it's already 2 o'clock. And so they're going to go do this view. And somebody was asking, I think it was Kitty, if I could GPS map the locations. If I had the addresses ready available in my hand, I would. But I actually did a video with all the locations and showing pictures and Google Maps of all the areas. So I'd like to drop that video. I mean, I already have the video done. It's on the channel, but I might repost it. Okay, let me do one thing at a time. Let me schedule tomorrow's stream. So we're back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. The 9 to 12, the 9 to 4, I kind of like it. It's early. You can still do whatever you got to do. We're parked in for, whatever, 7 hours? 7 hours, but that's taken into account lunch break, the little breaks in between. So it's really not that bad. Let's see. Schedule live stream. And, warning too. I don't know what they're going to show during this trial. I don't know how graphic. I'm sure that hopefully they're not going to show like actual, the body or anything. But of course, it would be cool to see, the places, the apartments. I mean, that video that I did and the affidavit that I did actually had actual pictures and stuff of certain things, which was really interesting. Day 2. Okay. Make sure you're subscribed to the second channel, okay? Because I'll be doing extras when we have no notifications here. I'll be jumping on the second channel because, I want to make sure we have a notification for tomorrow morning on this channel. You know what I mean? So on CC, I think we have 2 notifications on the second channel because today the day's early. Anything could happen. A chase. Any kind of, I don't know, an update on the Kansas City. Let me take a look. Oh, Last Night's Live did good on the second channel. We had a good time last night. We were hanging out. It was a little late. We were talking about Jennifer Crumley. All right. Thank you guys for coming through. Oh, God. I have no notifications on the second channel until, well, in an hour I'll have a notification. So it's almost the same thing as this channel. In an hour, we'll have a notification. And then in 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So in 6 hours. So in an hour, on both channels, I have 1 notification. And then in 6, I have 2 more, another notification on each channel. That's how we rolling, man. Keeping busy. All right. So let me make the thumbnail for tomorrow morning. It's already kind of set in place. Opening statements tomorrow. I'm really what I want to know is what in the world is the defense? What is going to be their defense? What is there going to be their like? How are they going to defend this guy? Opening statements. And by the way, the other thing I'm happy about somewhat is that I think he's going to come back tomorrow. Adam Montgomery. I want him to be there in the court. I want the jury to see him. I want them to hear everything that's going on, the evidence, everything being presented. Opening statements. Yeah, just type in ICKEDMEL space CC because we're doing extra content on the second channel. If you don't want to miss out the different topics that we're covering, I'm trying to mix it up while we do the trials. Try to do other things as well. If we can. So, and the second channel, by the way, it's more laid back, so I think there's 1 or 2 mods over there. I'm really not looking to have a bunch of mods over there.
Admit to each and every element of the offense of falsifying physical evidence and abuse of corpse. Is that okay? And did you speak with your lawyers in detail about that?
He's on video.
Yes, I did.
And have you reviewed the opening statement in which they will tell that to the jurors?
Yes, I did.
And do you wish for them to acknowledge your guilt on both of those charges, falsifying physical evidence and abuse of corpse?
Yes.
And do you understand that it would be the state's obligation to prove each and every element of those offenses beyond a reasonable doubt before the jury could find you guilty? Do you understand that?
Yes.
And that by agreeing to allow them to acknowledge this in opening statements, the jurors can find you guilty of those 2 offenses, relying on that information. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, and that is what you wish to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you have any further question about that?
No, I do not.
All right. Anything further that the state requests?
It's further the state request. We assume that the court would take that into account and make a decision whether or not he's making a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary waiver, essentially proving his facts and proceeding this way, which the court will do.
Okay. So anything you want to add, Attorney Smith?
Not on that issue.
Okay. So, Mr. Montgomery, having heard from you that you've discussed this with your lawyers, that you've reviewed the opening statements, the draft of the opening statement, that you acknowledge that you understand that the burden of proof is on the state to prove each of those offenses beyond a reasonable doubt, and that understanding that it is your desire for them to proceed with that strategy, the court does find that this is a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary waiver of your rights and will allow them to proceed on that basis. Okay?
Yep.
Okay. While I have you, today you did refuse transport, so I want to talk to you about tomorrow. As we discussed with you this morning, you can't change your mind midway through the day, but you can inform the court if you wish to come tomorrow. And what I would like to do, and each day thereafter. So you can come and we will send a transport for you. That is your absolute right. But as I explained to you this morning, it's also your right to waive your presence and for us to proceed in your absence. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to instruct the Sheriff's Office and the Department of Corrections that someone will ask you tomorrow morning, do you wish to come to court today? We will have transport available to you if you want to come, but I am not inclined to send a car up there to pick you up only to have you refuse.
Right.
So do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any concern about that procedure?
No, I do not.
Okay. So it is our intention to have someone ask you tomorrow morning whether or not you wish to come. And whenever they come to ask you that question, they're going to need an answer from you so that we have sufficient time to make sure that we get you down here in order for us to start the trial in a timely manner. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I believe your counsel will be speaking to you later, at some point later today?
Not today.
Oh, not today.
We can't.
Okay.
24-hour notice.
Okay. So that's going to be the procedure for tomorrow morning and each day thereafter of this trial, unless and until the court makes a different order on that. Do you understand that?
Lil, perfect. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is there anything further from the state while Mr. Montgomery is present?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything further from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Montgomery, you're free to go now. I appreciate that that you are speaking with us
Lil,
when we need to
perfect
speak
timing,
with you,
dude.
because we are keeping the jurors.
Where you
waiting
at? Where you
to
at?
us.
Oh my God. We got to go on the second channel now, guys. Oh, wait. Is this working?
All right. Counsel, we will.
There's a guy climbing a
When
sphere.
the bus is here, as soon as the bus is here, I guess I'll just
Hold on. Let me set it up.
have you all notified.
So, by the way, I set up tomorrow morning
Yes,
stream.
I know. Oh,
9
the bus
a.m.
is not here, right? When we thank you, Peter. When the bus is here, let us know so that we can gather everybody up and make sure everybody's in their respective vehicles at the right time.
We'll throw up over here.
So we'll have somebody. Well, probably the court officer will check in with you. I'll get on the bus with the court staff and the jurors when we get the go ahead from everybody. Sure. Okay. All right. Very good. Let me know if you need me before then. Attorney Gotti, counsel.
Let's see if this loads. Oh, wow. Okay. The video is kind of jacked up. Where's this guy at? Is he still on there? Can't even see this dude. So normally during the trial, I'll jump on my laptop if something like this happens. But because we're already ending for the day, we'll just do it on this computer. But we're gonna switch to the second channel. Let me see. I don't even see this guy. Oh, he's on top of the sphere. Okay. Let me set it up. He was on a screen. Tomorrow is closing statements. I mean, sorry, open arguments, opening arguments, or opening statements. What the hell am I saying? I'm out of here. I'm all over the place. Let me see if this is worth watching. I think he's on top. He's still on top of this. Oh my God. How did he climb this sphere though? The thing is moving. All right. All right, so we're going to watch this next. on the second channel. Let me just set it up. But I did set up tomorrow morning stream, so definitely come back tomorrow morning. I'm also going to look into if I can post that video, the people that need to... I love that it's showing up here. Perfect. People that need a recap. I don't know when they're going to approve the video. Either today or tomorrow, I'll post the video. People that need a recap. Leo, is this guy still on here? Is this guy still in the tower? Oh my gosh. All right. Okay. So, yes, I don't know how this guy could climb this and not trip out, right? That's mistaken identity. That's what it almost seems like. He pled guilty, or did he accept some charges? Let's see what this guy said on Twitter. The Twitter plug. Oh, he didn't. Adam Montgomery pleads guilty to falsifying physical evidence and abuse of corpse. He pled guilty. Yeah. All right. So we're going to hop on the second channel. Tomorrow morning, we'll start our trials again, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Opening statements. If somehow they come back today and do it, which I doubt they will because it's only 2 hours left, we'll come back if they do it. And at some point, more than likely probably tomorrow, I'd like to drop the recap video so those that don't know the story can get a visual and know all the details. It's like an hour and 44-minute video. All right. So we will continue. It's ICMLCC. Let me drop the link for those that don't have it. I got so many screens up. Oh, you know what? Do I even have notifications though on the second channel? Shoot. Did I just say I don't have any? Or do I do? Oh, Lord, I don't think I have any. Should we just stay here then? Yeah, I have one in less than an hour. I don't know what you guys think. Let's go over the second one. We have no notifications, but let's go to the second one. Let's keep this video, this live stream clean as far as it's just for Harmony and Adam. So we'll move over there. And all right. So make sure you guys still... The good thing is I'll still have notifications, then I'll still have another notification. So let's get it started.